Another place where people get stalled, or this one's more like they shoot themselves in the foot, to be perfectly honest. As you go through the grieving process, usually unconsciously at first, but as the first year goes by, it may be popping up into consciousness every now and again, is thinking about what life's going to be like going forward. And every idea you have, you nix. The idea comes up and you say, no, I can't do that. Move on. Yes, you know what I'm talking about. I know you do. The most common reason for that is it's not going to be the same. And you're right, it's not going to be the same. That's a given, and that's something you do need to make peace with. But even if you haven't made peace with that part of it, you're probably still having ideas about what you might do or what you could do or that sort of thing. It could be things that you always wanted to do, but your spouse didn't want to, or it could be things your spouse wanted to do that you never got around to, or they never got around to. And that can be a powerful one to do those things for them. Sometimes it can be powerful. But there's a whole array, hidden dreams, back burner dreams, all sorts of things that may pop into your head. Well, I could do that, or I could do that. And a lot of people, those those ideas will come up and they'll go, I can't do that. I can't do that. And you really shut out a lot of possibility when you do that. I understand the impulse. Grief is so hard and frightening and overwhelming. And there's this whole issue with it's not going to be the same. And it's so easy to just put the brakes on and say, I know I can't do that. And we do this even when we're not grieving. Those things that might get us a little out of our comfort zone, we go, no, I'm not doing that. Don't do that. You don't have to act on them right away. And you're not going to act on all of them. Some of them may be truly outrageous, and they'll either be so outrageous and compelling you decide to do them, or they're just not. That's just too far out there. That's okay. You don't have to decide now. You don't have to mark a course that you're going to follow yet. You'll make those choices down the line. But right now, just entertain the possibilities. Something pops into your head, make a list, write it down. Make a list of all the things that you might do with your life going forward. If they need to be nixed, they can be nixed later. But one of the things that needs to happen to make that transition from active grieving to active rebuilding is you need to have a sense of abundance and possibility. And when you make a list of things as they pop into your head, of all the things you could do, you might do, you used to want to do, or your spouse used to want to do, write it down. Write it down. And what you will find in all likelihood is you will have a long, long list of possibilities. And it's kind of like, I don't know if any of you paint, but if you paint, if you're painting, you create a palette. You have your colors on your palette, and it's like that. You have all of these colors to choose from. And you might mix and match them, you might blend them, you might go for really bold and separate, you might, who knows? But it's the material with which you are working and will eventually create a meaningful life, a joyful life. But you can't get there if you keep saying no to everything. You can't. So allow yourself to open up to possibilities. Know that you don't have to tell anybody. You don't have to tell anybody if you don't want. You don't have to decide right now. You don't have to do anything except allow your imagination to expand. I hope that makes sense. I really hope that makes sense because there's so much in life we can do. And often we're just limited by our sense of what's possible. And I really am inviting you to consider what might be possible, even if you're not ready to act on it. And it might be several years from now before you're ready to act on it. But it doesn't hurt to think about it now. I remember one of my first, I was on my internship at hospice, and one of my first bereavement clients was, I met her all year, and I think she was about 9 months in, and we're talking, and all of a sudden she said something about the future. I don't even remember what it was. And then went right back to talking about what she had lost in the marriage and her grief. And I'm going, whoop, 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 wait a minute. And she's going, what? You realize what you just said? She goes, no, what did I say? I said, you just talked about the future. I did? She didn't even know she'd done it. But there it was under the surface. And what you may find is these ideas just kind of pop up. They might show up in a dream. They might show up in the shower. They might just, you go for a walk and all of a sudden this idea pops up. Write it down. Write it down. That's your bank of possibilities. And you're not going to be able to do all of them. You're not going to do all of them. But it sure feels good to know that you could do some of them at least. So don't shoot yourself in the foot. Don't do it. Allow the possibilities to be there. Understand you're probably not ready yet. And you will have this list, this bank of possibilities, this palette from which you can choose what you're going to incorporate into your life going forward. Yes? Okay, you take care. Bye-bye.